watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. So today we're going to be taking a look at another Spade Series knife from Rough Ryder and the black Appaloosa handles. Quick look at the packaging here. We get the RI spelling on Ryder and the Royal Flush card playing in the background there. Nice Spades logo. 30th anniversary tang looks pretty much like that. And then they've added the slogan, always high quality handmade. On the back we have the Rough Ryder website information. On the bottom, China, the country of origin, and our cancel warning. And of course we're looking at model number RR2489. Now this is a magnetic style closed box with the RR back-to-back logo and the RI spelling. A little baggie that the knife came in and the felt line cut out. Alright, so let's take a look at the knife. So what we've got here is a 3¼ inch closed length on the black Appaloosa handle, which is more or less just white smooth bone with a light amount of black dye applied. You've got nickel silver bolsters on either end. They're equal ended. This is an equal ended jack essentially, the capital Intern. You get the black underliners along with that beautiful nickel silver inlaid shield, nickel silver pins. All the fit and finishes is as you expect, very nice and smooth, no rough edges along the corners of the handle or on the interior of the pivot. That feels really good. No rough spots there. A little bit of a a recessed spring on one half. This half feels fine, but this spring is a little bit underneath. Not quite level, but aside from that, everything else feels really good. Pretty level on the other end, just this one little spot here. But not a huge thing. Definitely not a deal breaker for me. But there's the back side. You can see how the color matching is pretty good in intensity. A little more white here in the middle, but otherwise that looks pretty good. And there's a good look at that spade shield. Just really attractive looking design, I think. Again, look at the back. But yeah, brass liners, stainless springs. Again, those black underliners. So beautifully finished. You can see the centering on the main blade, maybe just a little bit to the inside. It's not bad. And then if we rotate here, we can look at the secondary. And that one's pretty much spot on. So they've done a good job there with the alignment of the blades. And again, 3¼ inches length. And now let's take a look at the blades. So we've got 440A stainless steel blades on this. And this main blade is a spear point. Got the match strike pull, mirror finish. And the swedge at the end there. Good snap. I'd say it's about a 6.5 to 7 pull on it. So look at the blade stock and how they've centered that. Look at the profile of the swedge there, how that tapers down. Again, the mirror finish. There's a look at the blade edge. And it's not 100% perfect, but it looks pretty good. A little bit light right in that spot there, but pretty even otherwise. And then if we look at the other side for a match, it's not too different. So I think they did all right with that one. Probably a little better evenness on this side. And then the match strike pull. There you have that. Pretty well placed, I think, for getting to it when it's in the closed position. So they've located it well. There's the look at that 30th anniversary tang stamp that I talked about earlier on the box. And then on the back, what do we have here? We've got the 440A designation, the model number, and then China below it. Hopefully you guys can read that all right. It's a little tough to kind of get in the correct light here. There we go. But yeah, a good half stop on it. Again, about a 6.5 pull, I'd say. I know some of the knives that I've heard about others owning didn't have very good stop point. A little mushy at the half stop position. Mine's pretty good. I cleaned it up a little bit and had it improve a little bit. It wasn't quite as good when I first got it, but now I feel like it's pretty much spot on. You can hear that very affirmative action at the top. So that locks in really well. I mean, you can push it, but it is a smaller knife, not a huge deal, especially if you grip it like that. I can get 4 fingers on there when I'm kind of choked up there. Well, even when I'm not. So it's just big enough to kind of get the 4th finger on there. If you have a larger hand, you know, it might hang off just slightly. But overall, pretty good size. 3 1/4, you can just squeeze your hand on there. I just really like the attractiveness of that spear point blade. It does have a little bit of a cant to it. You can see how that comes down if we kind of measure that on the mat. A little bit of an angle there. But I don't mind that. It's not too aggressive. I feel like it's actually useful in that side. You know, that amount. Little pull cuts and drag cuts. You could get a little more use out of the mid portion of the blade in that position. So that's good. And yeah, the wedging to me is not too aggressive on this one. It doesn't look too bad. Done a good job on it. But good action on the close. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's take a measure of the blade. So all the way up the tang, just over 2.5 inches, just a touch. And then you had a cutting edge at right about 2 1/4 inches. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I was down the mat a little bit there. You can see a little better, 2 1/4, about right there. So yeah, that's a pretty decent sized blade for the length of knife that you're getting here. Yeah, 2 1/4, and you're only missing out about 1 inch overall with the tang and the ability to get it inside the channel there. So that's pretty good. Now this is the weird one I always felt. Just a really small blade, but gotta say, if you're doing some detailed work or some cutting or things like that, it's about as close to like an X-Acto blade as you're gonna get on a knife. I mean, it's really great for little detailed cuts, and I found it to be useful, even though in appearance it looks a little odd. But again, you get the match strike pull on that. It's got a really firm and useful snap to that mid position. You can hear that lock up really well. I'm not pushing that anywhere. So that's very good action on that blade. I'd say that's probably closer to 7.5, while the main blade was about a 6.5. But same styling, you just get the swedging there, the match strike pull. Again, the tang stamp, right? It's kind of tough to see that. It's a little bit, those tang stamps aren't not as crisp as I'd like them to be. A little bit rounded, but nothing on this side of the tang. And then again, the swedge there. If we look at the blade edge, yeah, pretty good. Pretty straight. Maybe a little heavier on that opposite side, and it does get a little bit lighter towards the ricasso on this one. So it could be a little more even. Probably take a little less off of there on that one side, but get a good point on it. Now these knives are what? $11.68 on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Chicago Knife Works has them for $11.49. So they're super affordable. And this whole series I think has been a very good value, and this is no different. This is definitely like a smaller EDC for me, but you know, if you don't want to be weighted down, you're maybe wearing dress pants or something like that. You could see this wearing this to church, taking this to church, just having a little more of a gentlemanly carry. This I think would fit the bill really nicely. I do like that it's got the spear point, a little unusual. You don't just see just a ton of blades in that shape. So that's kind of an interesting change from the norm. And, you know, like this equal in the design with the 2 blades. But it's still pretty robust, you know. It's not a wimpy knife. You're looking at something that's, you know, at the widest width of the handle, it's over 1/2 inch. So, you know, you got some bulk there. And some, you know, durability to it. But overall, just another fantastic release, I think, from the Spade series, and the price is just, you know, how can you complain at $11.68 or $11.49? Not even 12 bucks for the knife. And I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to beat the value that this represents. So another thumbs up from me, and if you are enjoying this series, I don't think there's any reason for you not to like this knife in the series as well. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.